You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the NBL Live pregame show that's brought to you each and every week by our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. Big shout out to Albinus over at Web3KS.com, doing so many custom graphics for the NBL Network. And they're offering a great deal. If you need graphics done for an affordable price, hit up Web3KS.com. Let them know NBL sent you. And you'll get a 15% discount on your entire order. Custom graphics done fantastically. We certainly appreciate all of Web3KS's support. Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, the commission himself, Bomber. And boy, do we have a great matchup today, Bomber. We have a rematch of the Season 30 Game of the Year. It is the Cleveland Browns taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Both teams in the thick of the playoff hunt, meeting a little earlier in the season, but we expect nothing but excitement today.
Yeah, absolutely. These are two teams. And it's the same kind of story with the Browns every year. They're 6-3 right now, just seem to kind of be pedaling along. They always catch fire as they get towards the end of the season. NBL Season 31 has been no different. And the Kansas City Chiefs, they always seem to start off kind of hot. Now, a 6-3 Kansas City Chiefs team is a hot Kansas City team. A 6-3 Browns team, third in the AFC North, a very tough North because the Ravens are coming along strong. They're still kind of in that spot, that wild card spot. They usually come away with the win, and the Chiefs are always outside looking up at this team, this Browns team. It's kind of a weird rivalry, right? These two teams always seem to kind of meet in these weird little spots where they're playing each other every season, and it just seems like every year the Browns are just constantly just edging them out, So this is a big game for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I know their fan base is ready to go.
Well, and very interesting right now in the AFC. That wild card is going to be coming down to the wire. AFC West has all four teams at 500 or above, and there are plenty of other teams that are still ahead of some of those guys. So the AFC wild card is going to be coming down to the wire. I want to give a big shout out before we start talking about players to watch to Under Oath Z. Just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Of course, our very own Bananas with his 4 months. Appreciate the subs, guys. Reminder, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to be a part of all the NBL Network giveaways throughout the season as we get towards the Super Bowl. It's where we tend to give away the most stuff, is that Super Bowl broadcast. But also, big shout out right now to our one of our new graphics guys, Jamie, coming up from Grid, making this brand new NBL thumbnail. We appreciate all the work Jamie has put in. Appreciate all the guys coming up from Grid. Lot going on in the NBL. Let's take a look at those player to watch for today's game between the Browns and the Chiefs. And first, for the Kansas City Chiefs, it is James Straseljic, the quarterback, affectionately known around the league as Kansas City QB. 126 completions on the year, 1,700 yards, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Bomber Straseljic last year came onto the scene, really blew everyone away with his numbers, especially that touchdown-interception ratio. This year, same sort of story. 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. +4 is very good here in the NBL. Maybe down a little bit from a year ago, not quite as explosive, but I think maybe that has a little bit to do with everybody knows what to expect out of the KCQB.
Yeah, when you look at 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, you think, pretty good season, 1,700 yards. It's a little on the low end for me at this point. I need a quarterback that at least has 2,500 yards. As you're seeing guys like Brody Denton, Ross Bonham, it's the same old cast of quarterbacks, Davis Webb, and now Matt Stafford of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Different uniforms, same production, has over 3,000 yards already. Davis Webb almost at 3,000. Also Ross Bonham, honorable mention as well. So 1,700 is a little low. So he maybe gets 200 today, maybe 250. He gets close to that 2,000 mark. He just seems a little behind pace today. But the interceptions, I'm kind of worried. You said it's pretty good, 10-6. But man, this was a guy that only had like 2 or 3 interceptions at this point last season. So he's kind of been a little careless with the ball, and that's uncharacteristic of him. Let's see if he can control the game tonight and lead his team to victory.
Doughboy in the chat. How do you say his name? It's James Straseljic. Fun fact. Very, very Polish name. coming from a guy whose last name is Mizesko. I got this one. This one I got. Guy whose name is a little easier to pronounce is, for the Browns, Duke Johnson. Pretty sure that's British. Very British. He's having a nice season on the ground. Again, Cleveland going with Duke Johnson. Isaiah Crowell with the Brownies for so many years. But Johnson on 122 carries, 806 yards, 10 touchdowns, 7.2 per carry. Johnson, Bomber, definitely more of a speed back. Look for him to get around the edge. They like using him outside the tackles. But he is impressive because not only is he keeping that 7.2 average, which is fantastic, he's found the end zone 10 times, and it's who the Browns go to inside the red zone.
Yeah, he's on pace for over 1,500 yards this season and just under 20 touchdowns. This is a go-to guy for the Browns, pretty much a 3-down back in this offense. Duke Johnson Jr., 112 carries. His backup, only 26 carries. So that tells you a lot about this team. And Joe Watson has 27 carries, if you're wondering. Probably half of them were knees. But they're pretty much a 3-down team with Duke Johnson Jr. being in the backfield. 112 attempts, 806 yards, 7.2 per carry, and 10 touchdowns. He's off to a really hot start. The question is health with this guy. Can he stay healthy? We had those concerns with Isaiah Crowell. Now we have him with Duke Johnson Jr. That's the only question and concern I have. A high carry guy who's looking to get close to, probably about 200 attempts. And that 200 marker is always very, very touch and go with a lot of halfbacks. Can they make it to 200, or is he going to get hurt? Well, he's playing for his contract right now. That's right. The 28-year-old halfback is on a final year of his contract, making $6 million right now. So it's probably in his best benefit to stay a little healthy down the stretch.
We are about ready to send this one out to the game. A rematch of the Season 30 MBL Live Game of the Year came right down to the wire. Bomber, if you remember, Zach DeManch coming up with the post route on 4th down, took it to the house with under 20 seconds to go to win this one for the Brownies. What do you predict this year? Different team, different look, still a lot of the same players. Who do you like, Chiefs or Browns, in this Week 11 matchup?
Well, we actually did a final minutes on this game from last season. You can check that out in the archives on youtube.com/Madden Bomber League after this game. Hopefully this game's just as much of a thriller and you get that same kind of excitement. But I'm going with the Chiefs tonight simply because if the Chiefs do not win tonight, it's a complete fail. This team has not been able to get over the hump. This is the kind of win in this kind of game what this franchise and this fan base needs. It's a do-or-die game tonight. It's a must-win for this team. So my money is going on the Chiefs. I'm saying Chiefs 27, Browns 24 in a game that requires a last-second field goal for the Chiefs to get the W.
Should be a great game here on MBL Live. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into the MBL Live pregame show, but we got to get to the game. MBL Live broadcast 213, and coming up next, it's a battle of what was voted the best game of last season. These two teams looking to stay in the fight for the playoff spot in the AFC. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's coming up right now here on MBL Live. Empty backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches it, makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is dropping back. He's got to open over the middle.
Wow. That big playmaker ability as he finds him again
into the end zone. Another touchdown. MBL Live broadcast number 213 is live here on twitch.tv/MBL Network. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning in for this Week 11 matchup. It is the Cleveland Browns taking on the Kansas City Chiefs live from Kansas City. I am so
31. This is broadcast number 213, so we got a lot to compare it against. But this little, I'd call this kind of a mid-major kind of rivalry in the NCAA. Both these teams haven't won a Super Bowl, but they're kind of in a little bit of a mid-card rivalry if you watch WWE. But it's entertaining nonetheless. I absolutely love it. I'm excited. This could steal the show again for this season.
First and 10. It's going to be the Cleveland Browns starting out, and rookie quarterback Watson under center. He's got 2 wide receivers to the left side, 1 over to the right. It's going to be Duke Johnson getting a carry on first down. Bomber, new quarterback in Cleveland. No more famous Jameis. We got Joe Watson. 63% completion percentage, 2,300 yards, 19 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. Hovering around that 50-50 mark, touchdowns to interceptions. How important is it for Watson to keep that turnover number down against this Draco defense?
Well, this is a rookie quarterback with a 92 QBR. He's done good so far this season, about 50-50 touchdown to interception. He just needs to keep that up and kind of improve as the season progresses, but I think the rookie can do it.
On 2nd and 4, it's Watson dropping back to pass. He's got all the time in the world. He's looking deep down the field for Reeves, who goes up for it, and it's off his hands and incomplete. Joe Watson taking a shot over the top, and Bomber, love to see the aggressiveness early. Very safe throw, splitting those 2 safeties, just couldn't come down with the catch.
Yeah, it was a great play call, but even great defense from the slot cornerback of the Kansas City Chiefs. He's in a cover 2 drop. He realizes this guy's running a post, which is a cover 2 beater. He stays with his man, man's up, man coverage, and that allows that play not to really work. Now they're in the 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 now for the Cleveland Browns. 2 wide receivers to each side. Duke Johnson in the backfield. On 3rd down, it's Joe Watson driving back to pass. 4-man rush from the Chiefs. Quick throw over the middle for Zach DeManch, who skies up for a ball, maybe a little overthrown, but the big, tall, athletic wide receiver Bomber, he has been so good for the Browns over so many years. Caught that winning touchdown last season. Comes up with a big first down on this 3rd and 4.
Yeah, 3rd and 4, he runs Saints flood. He's got a quick out on the right side with the drag. So you think a 2-read combination. I see the ball go over the middle of the field. I go, where's he going? Quick high pass, finds his man wide open. Nice throw, nice pitch and catch for the rookie.
Yeah, 1st and 10 now for the Cleveland Browns. A 3 wide receiver set, 1 tight end on the right side of that formation. It's going to be a toss play to Duke Johnson over the right side. He's got some room, he's got some space, and he cuts upfield, gets to the 43-yard line. Going to be a first down for the Browns. Duke Johnson getting outside, and that blocking down on the offensive line, Bomber. It sealed the edge real well for that speedy running back to get to the outside.
Yeah, one thing you're going to notice, though, about the Kansas City Chiefs and this Draco defense is they're going to start picking up on these, these tactics from the Cleveland Browns. They're kind of giving a sign here. They're running on first down. They're going to give it to Duke Johnson on first down. Kansas City's going to slowly adjust and try to start taking that away. That might open some opportunities for Joe Watt to take a shot down the field.
And on 1st and 10, it's Watson in the shotgun. Empty backfield. 5 wide receivers out there. 2 to the left side. 3 over to the right. As Watson drops back to pass. 4-man rush from the Chiefs. It's a pass to the tight end. Bartu coming up with that one at the 30-yard line. Let's take a look at the players to watch for today's game for the Cleveland Browns. We talked about Joe Watson, Duke Johnson, Corey Coleman at wide receiver on the other side of Zach DeManch, Myles Garrett, and Jabril Peppers. And Bomber Peppers at strong safety is going to have a whale of a job. He's got to contain that passing game from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not going to be very easy right now because the Kansas City Chiefs have a good offense. The Browns have a young offense, but once they get clicking and rolling, as you see on this first drive, they can look really, really good. If the rookie can kind of limit some turnovers, that's where they're going to have some success. But I think both of these defenses need to come up big.
Watson dropped back on 1st and 10. Looking over the middle of the field and is behind Derek Bartu and should have probably been picked. That ball significantly behind the tight end. Lucky that didn't turn into a turnover.
Yeah, when you talk about Joe Watson, he was a mid-round, first-round pick, middle-of-the-round rookie from Ole Miss. Ball placement, ball placement, ball placement. That's what everybody's concern was. He gets a little erratic with the throw. You saw it right there, just not where it wanted to be. Not the strongest arm, and at some time he kind of waves in that accuracy. That inaccuracy starts showing out, and that's what you saw right there. Just a bad thrown ball that he gets bailed out because it wasn't intercepted.
Everybody asking, where is the tight end David Njoku? He is hurt right now, out for a couple of weeks, as it's going to be Watson dropping back. Blitz coming out the middle. He gets rid of it quickly. He finds Reeves on the outside. It's going to be another first down. Bomber, even though Watson, he's 3 of 5 to start this game, the Browns, very easy reads right now for the young quarterback, not making him do too much as they convert another first round on a nice and easy out route.
Yeah, you're seeing man coverage, you're seeing an out route. That's pretty much what we saw so far. Let's see if Kansas City adjusts and starts pressing up on these wide receivers and trying to just kind of edge off that quick out.
1st and 10, Joe Watson dropping back to pass once again. Very pass-heavy attack for the Browns. Waiting. Lots of time, and he's going to take off. He'll get hit from behind. Ball's out. It's picked up by one of the linemen,
Johnson. He's holding his back, OSU.
Oh, no, and there's, Joe Watson on the ground. It's a big shout-out to Unisolated for the 4 months, as well as Timbo for the 4 months. Appreciate the subs, guys. As Joe Watson going down, clutching his back. How big of an injury could that be?
Absolutely, Big. This is huge. This is the biggest thing that could happen to the Browns right now, especially an offense that was kind of flowing and going right now. Backup quarterback, they have Brady Pinion. This was a 4th-round pick 3 years ago from Illinois. He's not that good. 85 throw power, weak arm, definitely a backup quarterback, and he's in the game right now.
Yeah, and he's going to come out 3 tight ends. Probably going to see Duke Johnson get a carry here. Counterplay for Duke at the defensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs, coming up with the big stop. And let's take a look at the players to watch for the Kansas City Chiefs. On the flip side, James Straseljic, TJ Logan at halfback, Tyreek Hill, a wide receiver, Bryson Peters defensively. Tyreek Hill, Bomber, he is still a speedy deep threat the Browns are going to have to find a way to contain.
Yeah, absolutely. They like to go deep. Chiefs QB can get the ball down the field. He can whip it underneath. This guy can pretty much do it all. He's probably everything that they hope Joe Watson ends up being for the Cleveland Browns.
3rd and 8. Brady Pinion still under center. Waiting to hear on what happened to Joe Watson. Blitz coming. He gets rid of it. He has Zach DeManch on the corner route. Touchdown, Browns, as Joe Watson not going to be able to return to the game with a lower back strain. Big shout out to Deca Dog with the 4 months. Bomber, Brady Pinion right there. Easy corner route read. Put the ball right on the money. And the Browns go up 7-0. But the big loss, Joe Watson, the rookie quarterback, he goes down with a lower back strain, not going to be able to return the game. Brady Pinion under center. How does that change the offense for the Cleveland Browns?
That changes a lot. First, I want to go back to that scoring touchdown right there as number 25, and that ain't Jamal Charles, is returning the ball for the Kansas City Chiefs. A little bit of the disrespect. Draco's got to know about those numbers, and he's got to protect them. But right there, you saw an overload blitz, and you're wondering, how did that corner route get open? Very simple. Draco hard flatted because he wanted to see if Pinion can make the throw.
He can.
Sees the corner out and makes the throw. Nice touchdown right there. That's going to affect a lot of this game because you're going to see a lot of hard flats now from Draco. We're going to see if Pinion can really drive the ball down the field.
Now it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs coming out on offense first time. James Straseljic under center. He's going to drop back to pass. On first attempt, blitz coming, gets rid of it quickly, finds an out route on the right side. It is complete down to the 41-yard line. And we talked about Straseljic in the pregame. Very good arm as he finds Janty on the out route. 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Bomber, they're looking for a big game out of their big-named quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the time he needs to step up. This is when he needs to embrace the moment. He hasn't done it early in his career, but now is better than any time ever because we live in the moment here in the NBL. Here's an opportunity, but not on this play as the defense just gets through. I saw that happening a mile away. That just was not good protection on the Chiefs quarterback.
Yeah, right up the middle came Darius to bring down Straseljic for a 7-yard loss. This Browns defense, of course, Bomber, we talked about how good they can be. I mean, this defensive line is one of the best in the NBL, led by the young guy, Myles Garrett.
Yeah, absolutely. You're getting push at the line. You got strength, you got size, you got speed, agility. You even have slot corners that got the speed to get to the quarterback. 2nd and 17 is going to be a tough hole to dig out of if you're the Chiefs quarterback.
And on 2nd and 17, Straseljic dropping back, looking over to the right side. It's off his hands. Oh, almost picked off. He was looking for Janty on the post route. Well covered, though, able to put a hand in there and make sure Janty couldn't come up with the catch. And now a 3rd and long for James Straseljic and the Kansas City offense, looking to just not turn the ball over and give Cleveland a short field.
That's really just called trusting your arm, trying to squeeze it in there. He's got to know better than that. This is not the strongest arm quarterback, only 89 throw power OSU, so I'm kind of questioning why he's trying to drive the ball into between multiple defenders.
3 wide receivers, 2 over to the right, 1 to the left side for James Straseljic. He's got Logan to his left. He's going to drop back to pass on 3rd and 17. Waiting. He's got a man over the middle, and he finds him for a first down as the Kansas City Chiefs picking up the 3rd and 17. James Straseljic sitting in there watching the crosser come across the field, and Lee goes 19 yards for a huge pickup.
Nice throw, nice catch, nice patience in the pocket. If you can protect James, I can't say his last name, if you can protect him, he's going to dice you up. He's going to essentially make the right read.
1st and 10 for Straseljic, dropping back, has a man wide open underneath. It is complete. Open field as he gets up past the first down marker to the 35-yard line. Tyreek Hill showing off why he is still an effective wide receiver. Bomber on those drag routes, those underneath routes. If Hill catches it and he has space, look out.
Yeah, they say he's slippery. I'm just like, whoop. Every time that he makes a move up the field, he cuts so precise. I just didn't like the hit stick at the end. That probably could have been avoided.
Yeah, 1st and 10, Straseljic looking over the middle of the field. Once again, has Tyreek Hill using that speed and get it to the end zone. Touchdown, Chiefs. 35 yards out, little skinny post from Tyreek Hill. splitting the two in the deep coverage and able to find the end zone. Bomber, too much open space, too much trouble for Tyreek Hill.
I don't know if he pressed up on that play. I don't know what the Cleveland Browns defense did, but how does a cover 3 lose against a slot post? That just does not seem like it should happen. It made us feel almost like he was in a cover 2, but that was a cover 3. The middle safety just played with way too much cushion. He finds his man underneath, and then he just uses the burners like he's been doing all season. Another touchdown for Tyreek Hill. The man on the season now has 3 touchdowns, 0 drops on 23 receptions, over 450 yards. 0 drops.
Not a single one. Not a single drop for Tyreek Hill. Sure-handed, and, he has the burners, as you saw there. Now it's going to be up to Brady Pinion coming in for the rookie. Joe Watson out with an injury. Pinion's going to have to lead this team 7-7. Your score right now, I formation for Brady Pinion under center. Duke Johnson at the top of that I. DeMant split out to the left, Coleman split out to the right. Play action pass, and it's going to be Pinion rolling out to the left side. He's going to take a deep shot to DeMant over the top, who goes up for the catch and gets laid out. That ball just a little bit underthrown, and Zach DeMant could not come up with the catch. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
He was checking the speed differential on the left side. He liked what he saw. He sent him on a go. He gave him that signal on the side. The only problem is when you're sending him on a go 40 yards down the field and you only have 85 throw power and your deep accuracy is in the 70s, you might be in trouble.
High formation once again on 2nd and 10. It's blitz coming. Quick throw to the outside. It's complete to Corey Coleman. Oh, the dive was a little early, but Coleman trips over the defender on the outside. Might have been Marcus Peters on the tackle as Coleman gets 20 yards. Great recognition there by Brady Pinion as Bell with the tackle. Seeing the blitz coming up the middle and getting rid of that ball quickly, and they're going to hurry up to the line. Two wide receivers. I formation, Duke Johnson at the top of that I. They have been throwing it nonstop, even with the injury to Joe Watson on the first drive. They're still airing it out as they're going to throw it once again. Waiting, rolling to the right side. He's going to have to get rid of it, and he dumps it underneath to Zach DeMant, who fights forward to near the first down marker at the 46-yard line. They're going to call him a yard short. Bomber Brady Pinion coming in. Talked about how he's a backup quarterback. Talked about that weak arm, but the one thing he does have is composure. He doesn't look rattled at all.
Feels very comfortable in this offense. It's a very good offense for a backup quarterback. We're seeing out routes, corner routes, and drags. Very simple stuff for this quarterback. I think he will be fine right now, but if the Chiefs can get to him and get them in them 3rd and longs, I think that's when the problems are really going to arise for this weak-armed backup quarterback, Brady Pinion.
Big shout out to Rusta22 in the chat saying, app is in for the Grid League. I'm excited. Appreciate you applying to the grid. Yeah, we hope to see you in the grid. If you want to apply to the grid, folks, head over to our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Under the Join tab, you can apply to the MBL. I'm OSU. I'm hanging with my man, Bomber MBL Live. Broadcast 213. Rematch of the season 30 game of the year. Browns and Chiefs tied at 7 as we head into the 2nd quarter. 3rd and inches. It's going to be a pass play. Only a 3-man rush from the Kansas City Chiefs. Pinion is going to try to run for it. He's going to try to dump it off. It's picked off. Oh, Brady Pinion makes a mistake, looking to dump that off underneath. A great read by the linebacker Luke Jokel with the pick, and it's going the other way. Bomber, a mistake by the young quarterback.
Really simplified offense right now. I said out routes, drags. What did you get on that play? It was a 2 read. If it was man coverage, he was going out route. He went with the drag because it was zone. He rolled out, got himself into some trouble, not looking good for the backup quarterback.
And Strzelczyk dropping back. He's going to go down for a sack as Darius gets in there for yet another play. Going to drop into a 2nd and 16. Bomber, I was interested to see the defense called by the Kansas City Chiefs on that last play. 3rd and inches. They only rushed 3. It almost looked like they were expecting Brady Pinion to be throwing the ball.
Maybe they just understand this rivalry. They understand the offensive play calling. You expect us to run in 3rd and inches. They're going to pass even with the backup, but the Chiefs were ready for it, and they made a play.
2nd and 16. Strzelczyk under center, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 over to the left side. TJ Logan in the backfield. Play action pass. Oh, and he just gets rid of it. It should have been picked, but it was dropped. The Butterfinger showing up defensively as the Cleveland Browns getting some steady pressure on James Strzelczyk, Bomber, and forcing him into some tough throws.
Nothing really disguised in that defense either. You see 2 high safeties. It's a roll blitz from the cornerback position, a slot corner. I'd have liked to see that little hook in the middle, put on a go route, and just split the safeties, but it didn't happen for the Chiefs.
Another 3rd and long. Chiefs converted one of these on their last drive. 3rd and 16. Play action. Pass Strzelczyk rolling out to the right side. Waiting, looking for the crosser. It's picked off by Pierce, and he's got some room on the left side. He'll be taken down to the 35-yard line. Bomber, a throw that had no business being made, and Pierce said, "Thank you very much, James. I'll take this one the other way."
Usually a team that's very good playing field position, the Kansas City Chiefs, or any Draco defense, they usually play field position very well. Right there, just a bad decision. I'd like to see a screen play or some kind of draw and just punt the ball and see if this backup quarterback can get down the field.
Back-to-back bad throws by Straseljic. Play action pass. Brady Pinion's going to be passing the ball. Looks over the middle of the field for Zach DeManch. Little behind him, but DeManch with the wherewithal to turn around and get his hands on that bad boy. First down for the Browns inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to prove to everybody, hey, this backup quarterback might be a backup on our team, but he's got starter quarterback ability. He played for the Patriots and the Vikings. He looked decent with the Patriots. He didn't look too bad, but right now he's coming out and he's shining for the Cleveland Browns.
1st and 10 for Brady Pinion. He's going to hand it off to Duke Johnson, cutting it up the middle. Johnson's going to fight forward to the 13-yard line. Bomber, I'm surprised. That's back-to-back runs for Duke Johnson between the tackles. That's really not the sort of running back Duke Johnson is.
No, definitely not. And right now, that's the running back they need him to be. Sadly, without Joe Watson at quarterback, the rookie quarterback's gone. He's going to miss this game, might miss some more extended time as well. They need him. When he gets inside the red zone, it's going to be a power run team here for the Cleveland Browns because throwing is really not an option. They're going to have to squeeze it into some tight windows, and I don't know how comfortable they are with Pinion doing that.
2nd and 7 for the Cleveland Browns. Brady Pinion under center. Corey Coleman coming in motion. He's going to drop back to pass on 2nd and 7. Blitz coming up the middle. He just gets it off into tight coverage and finds Corey Coleman. Comes up with the catch. He'll cut this down to a 3rd and 4. A lot of pressure coming up the middle. Good recognition by by Brady Pinion to get the ball off to Corey Coleman. That's a dangerous throw, though, Bomber. One of those yellow zones was sitting on that underneath route.
Yeah, a lot of heat coming right now from the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to put pressure on you, especially in the red zone. They live and they thrive on red zone turnovers. Let's see if they can get one here on 3rd and 4.
Shotgun formation for Pinion, 3rd and 4. It's going to be a drop play to Duke Johnson right up the middle, and great job on the interior. Boy, the interior of this Kansas City line. Jones with the tackle there. Darius has had 1.5 sacks on the day. They are dominating up front and going to force Cleveland into a short field goal. It is up and good. 10-7 your score, Bomber, but Kansas City's defense holding strong after the Straseljic interception.
Bella Blitz in the chat right now was saying another touchdown incoming. I kind of felt the same way, but they kind of settled for the 3 when they decided to run it up the middle. Not a great choice against this very, very good front line for the Kansas City Chiefs.
As the return up is going to get near the 25 to the 24-yard line. That's where we'll see the Kansas City Chiefs come back out. And James Straseljic, the quarterback, coming back after Bomber really 2nd and 3rd down. 3rd down was the interception, but his 2nd down throw hit a Cleveland player in the hands. Back-to-back bad throws by the usually reliable quarterback.
Yeah, and you're looking at his throws so far. Probably 3 or 4 of them could have been intercepted so far, but only 1. So I guess that's good for him. Got to wipe it off and just come out and play a little bit better on this 2nd, 3rd drive.
As they get London Spate with the hard count, they're going to cut this back to a 1st and 5. Bomber, we've seen the Chiefs really with the passing attack so far. We haven't seen TJ Logan at all. Is that any sort of residual of his performance in the playoffs? They really didn't like how he played.
His NBL Live performances have been abysmal so far, and now he's not in the game, so we're not seeing much of him.
Well, they're going to get a carry on 1st and 5 to the outside, trying to find some room.
But
Nothing
there he is.
doing there as TJ Logan gets no gain on the play. Let's look at Logan's stats on the season. 4.9 per carry, 373 yards on 76 carries, 6 touchdowns. Pass-first offense. Logan done a nice job finding the end zone, Bomber, but on NBL Live, as you said, he has been absolutely horrendous.
He's a ghost. They call him the ghost in NBL because when big games and the bright lights hit the center field, he's just not there.
2nd and 5, James Straseljic dropping back, 4-man rush, waiting, looking over the middle of the field for the post route. It's complete. It's Tyreek Hill with a spin move, getting up to the 47-yard line. Boy, any sort of man coverage that is at all pressed up, Tyreek Hill is going to beat it. His 3rd catch of the day. He is an absolute nightmare defensively.
The patience from the Chiefs quarterback is pretty impressive so far. He just sits in the pocket, he steps up, he waits, he knows his man's about to break, he doesn't panic. It's been really good so far to watch him on 3rd down.
Play action pass for Straseljic, waiting on 1st and 10, looking over the middle of the field, and who else but Tyreek Hill. Coming up with another catch to the 20-yard line, relying on the sure hands of the speedy Tyreek Hill to get down to the red zone. My, oh my, how quick has this Kansas City Chiefs offense moved down the field?
Yeah, they're fast. They can move the chains very quickly because the engine of their offense is very quick. That's Tyreek Hill. He seems to be everywhere. They're moving him around as he's wide to the left now. He's pretty much doing it all.
He's going to drop back to pass Straseljic, waiting, and he backs up into his own lineman. And Myles Garrett with another sack, 1.5 on the season, Bomber. This guy is a nightmare on the edge. Tackles have such a hard time keeping the strong and speedy Garrett from getting to the quarterback.
A little head scratching, though. He had the double move on the left side of Tyreek Hill. That looked like it was about to break open. He could have just lofted him up and gave his receiver an opportunity to get underneath it. Instead, he takes a sack by the great defensive lineman of the Cleveland Browns.
TJ Logan's going to take the carry. Boy, there looked like there was a lot of room over there. TJ Logan just doesn't have any sort of explosiveness when he gets the ball, gets taken down pretty easily.
You want me to tell you who he reminds me of?
Sure.
And I've watched him. I think this is his third NBL Live game. And his lack of explosion and lack of ability to get through the hole and get to the next level, Trent Richardson in his decline.
Sure.
A lot like him.
In his decline, you mean his rookie season? Got it. Yeah, absolutely. 3rd and 16 for the Kansas City.
I was trying to put a positive spin
Another
on it,
great Cleveland Brown draft pick right there. 3rd and 16. Quick wide receiver screen to the outside, caught by Tyreek Hill. Browns contain it pretty well, though. And right there, Bomber, there was the conservative play you were looking for on the last drive from the Chiefs. 3rd and 16, not trying to force it too much. They'll settle for the field goal from the 24-yard line, right hash mark. This one's a 41-yard attempt. Snap down, good. Kick is up. It is through the uprights. We've got a 10-10 ball game. Real smart play there by Draco and the Kansas City Chiefs. Not doing too much to make sure they tie up the ball game.
If you know anything about this rivalry right now, you need to look at the score and realize this is setting up for a Kansas City Chiefs heartbreak. I'm telling you, it's happened multiple times before. Z-Star's luck is unlike any luck on NBL Live before. And the Kansas City Chiefs have the opposite of that. They have been on the bad end of that luck many times, and 10-10 right now with a $151 in the second half. I'm just looking at the second quarter, and I'm thinking, man, if that said fourth right now, we'd be in for an incredible finish. Maybe it'd be a pick six right now, but something would happen. They'd get it back, score, stop, score again with seconds left. I just feel it right now. Maybe I'm changing my opinion.
Here it comes. Here comes the PAFK quick. As Coleman comes across, play action pass, looking, waiting. He'll take Demange on the crossing route at 9 yards on the play. Nice job there by the Kansas City defense containing that play, and let's hurry up to 1st and 10. It is Brady Pinion into the game. Rookie Joe Watson goes out on the first drive with a lower back strain. Brady Pinion coming into the game, looking to keep the Cleveland Browns in this one. 2 wide receivers over the left side, 2 tight ends on the right. Play action pass for Brady Pinion. He looks to the flat, completes it to Stanford, but a nice job there on the tackle to rip that one out of his hands. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10, and we want to welcome everybody joining us for NBL Live, broadcast number 213. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with the commish Bomber. We got a great matchup. Week 11, Browns and Chiefs, both of these teams in the thick of the AFC playoff hunt. A rematch of the season 30 game of the year, of which the Browns came away with a late touchdown to Zach Demange in that one to pull off a playoff spot. That game, winner took the wild card. It was the Browns who were able to come out with a victory in that one. Bomber, you can check that out on our archives at youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. That's where you can find it. You can see the entire game. You can also see the final minutes episode. Bomber, was one of the best games I have ever called here in the NBL.
Yeah, it was absolutely down to the finish, and I hope this game, and it looks like this game could be heading that same direction. These two teams just put on phenomenal games. Absolutely a great feel watching these two guys go against each other and just combat what each other is doing.
2nd and 5, shot information for Pinions. He drops back. Blitz picked up nicely, looks underneath, completes to Corey Coleman right at the logo. He'll be down at the 47-yard line. Going to bring up a 1st down as Brady Pinion. 7-10 coming into this game. He has an interception, a real bad throw from Brady Pinion. But the offense, Bomber, the coordinator's really just making sure that Brady Pinion doesn't have to make too many difficult reads.
Yeah, here's my issue. Kansas City, turn off aggressive pass rush. You can't give up 5 yards for this guy. He's constantly looking to go underneath.
1st and 10. It's Pinion looking, and Brady Pinion breaks the sack, trying to get to the outside, but the second guy comes up and makes the play. Pinion a little too indecisive. I was surprised he didn't get rid of it earlier, only losing 3 on the play, but it's a big play from the Kansas City defense, getting to Brady Pinion.
Colbster in the chat right now saying, I smell a pick. I smell it too. I absolutely smell it. We got an 85 throw power backup quarterback in right now, and he's being asked to drive the ball down the field.
Brady Pinion drop back, blitz coming from the right side, gets rid of it quickly. He finds a tight end, Bartu on the scene. Oh, they left the tight end all sorts of open with no David Njoku. Derek Bartu coming into the game and coming up with a huge catch, converting another long conversion for this team. Bomber, how do you lose the tight end on a play like that?
Yeah, when you ask your defensive end to drop into a yellow zone, he's got to get there and get there with a purpose. You didn't see it right there as the tight end was actually on a dig, or about a 10-yard in. He just turns around. He's wide open. He looks at the quarterback, say, hey, give it to me right here. He throws it to him. They pick up a lot of yards. Now they're on the 28. easily in field goal range.
38 seconds left, 1 timeout remaining for the Cleveland Browns. Shotgun formation for Brady Pinion as he drops back to pass on 1st and 10. 4-man rush looking to the corner route once again. It's complete to Corey Coleman. A huge tackle made at the 4-yard line to keep Coleman out of the end zone. Bomber, the man coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs cannot contain these Browns wide receivers running to the sidelines.
Yeah, you're seeing corner routes and outs really just dominating this defense in man coverage. They got to pick it up. We got to see some more user coverage on the outside. That's the only way they're going to be able to stop some of these corner routes.
1st and goal, Pinion dropping back to pass. They're running some slants over the middle. Let's see if the Chiefs defense can contain it. High pass. Corey Coleman skied for that one. It's a touchdown, Cleveland, with just under 30 seconds to go. Excuse me, under 20 seconds to go. With a big play there, Brady Pinion putting it up for one of the wide receivers, and Coleman ripping that one out of the sky to put the Browns up 7 just before the half.
Yeah, I don't like the defense there. It seemed like they got what they wanted. They contained the quarterback inside the pocket, and then the zone defense just completely broke down because there was just too much time in the pocket for Pinion. And Pinion, as bad as his attributes might look, as noodle as his arm might actually be, he's been pretty good so far. I give him probably a B grade in his couple drives he's had.
Yeah, really one bad decision is the only thing standing against Brady Pinion. 10 seconds to go, 3 timeouts for the Kansas City Chiefs. Bomber, you got to think how Draco plays. This one's going to be just a kneel down or a run play and get to the halftime.
You would think so. They're probably going to need it out here, but they're going to come out in I formation, man. They might be trying to run the ball here. Maybe they have a counter play.
Let's see what happens on 1st and 10. 2 tight ends for James Straselczyk under center. Tyreek Hill, the lone wide receiver, over to the left side. I formation, TJ Logan at the top of the eye. They're going to toss it out to TJ Logan, looking to get him into some space. Needs to make one man miss, and he cannot do it. He does get 10 on the play, but that's going to take us to halftime. Your score, Cleveland 17, Kansas City 10. Bomber, just as we expected. This game is close. No team really pulling away from the other. A late touchdown from the Browns has them on top, but Kansas City going to get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, and anybody other than Trent Richardson on that toss play might have been able to make something happen, but one man to beat obviously proves to be too much for TJ Trent Richardson Logan. Really struggling right now and just really head-scratching. Yeah.
Well, come out to the second half, Bomber. Kansas City getting the ball on offense. They really haven't established the run at all, but that hasn't seemed to hurt them because TJ Logan, the ghost, Casper the Friendly Ghost on NBL Live, disappears when the bright lights are on. James Straselczyk, though, thrives.
And in the chat, a couple guys saying he's not a speed back. That's what we're getting from Pricey. I understand that, but it's a toss play with one man to beat, and it was a safety or a corner. You should be able to run that guy over, right? And it just didn't happen. Has a nice throw right there.
Real nice throw. Tight man coverage, but Straselczyk puts it where only his man can get it. It's a first down for the Chiefs. The one mistake hurt them, but at the end of the day, they got to pick the other way. So interceptions evened out. They're going into second half on an even playing field because the Chiefs get the ball to start the half.
Opportunity right here for the Kansas City Chiefs to respond to a very nice end-of-half drive from the Cleveland Browns.
And Straselczyk on 1st and 10 going to run a counter play with TJ Logan. There's a spin move, but he spins right into another player, and it's going to be only a 1-yard gain. Going to bring up a 2nd and 9, 17-10 your score. Bomber, TJ Logan not doing a whole lot to put any faith in the Kansas City coaching staff to give him more carries.
Well, I mean, he did enough. Trent Richardson runs the ball on 1st and 10. You get a 2nd and 9. It's a positive. You still got something, so 9 yards to go here to move the chains.
At least they didn't spend a 3rd overall pick on TJ Logan. Play action pass for Straselczyk. Oh, man. He looks underneath. It is complete. He's got some room off the left sideline. And they're going to get him for unnecessary ruffles on the sidelines as Searles with the big hit. Going to bring him to the 20. But, Bomber, I don't know if you saw that. They had a crosser coming from the left over to the right side that was all sorts open. Looked like Zach DeManch. And he was all sorts of open headed to the end zone.
Well, DeManch, obviously a Cleveland Brown, so it couldn't have been Zach DeManch, but user coverage over there looked like it was busted.
It was Tyreek Hill.
But if you fall for a play action to Trent Richardson, you deserve to get beat in man coverage because that is one guy I would guess pass on every time.
Sure. TJ Logan. Trent Richardson, TJ Logan. It doesn't really matter what you call him. He got 2 yards on 1st down. Going to bring him a 2nd and 8. 2 yards on 1st down, Bomber. Pretty good for old TJTR.
Yeah, 2nd and 8, you're feeling great if you're Kansas City because you got Richardson behind you, and if he can give you 2, it's definitely worth something.
Well, they're going to hand it to him on back-to-back plays.
He loses one.
Yeah. Well, 2 step forward, 1 step back for TJ Logan.
And like I said, 2nd and 9, you're feeling fine, but 3rd and 9 is not that great. You don't go to him back-to-back plays just because of that, because if he gets you 2 yards, there's a good chance he's going to lose that yard, one of those yards that he just gained, probably about 90% of the time.
Now James Truselton comes out needing a big conversion here inside the red zone. Shotgun formation for the Kansas City Chiefs. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the right, 1 over to the left side. He'll drop back to pass. Quick throw up the seam. Oh, man, that was read the entire time, Bomber. I think they're lucky that didn't get picked off. Just a big hit up the seam, and the Chiefs are going to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, nothing about that said throw that seam route, but Chiefs quarterback decides, hey, I'm going to rip it right here. He has a man on a go against cover 3 buzz match, which means they're going to man up that coverage on that seam. So he stays with them on the seam, plus he has over-the-top coverage because he had 3 safeties dropping back into coverage. Just not a good read. When you're in tight spots like that, you got to be smart and more precise. I bet you they change their game plan and offensive play calling when they get in the red zone next time.
Cleveland's going to get the ball all the way out to the 23-yard line. While we have a moment here in the third quarter, folks, we want to remind you and give a big thank you to our graphic sponsor and pregame sponsor, Web3KS.com. Quality graphics all across the NBL network. If you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, hit up Web3KS.com. Let them know NBL sent you. You'll get 15% off your entire order. Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. First and 10. For the Cleveland Browns, Brady Pinion in the pistol formation. He's going to hand it off to Duke Johnson over the left side. Cuts back inside, takes a big hit. Boy, Bomber, we haven't seen a lot of Duke Johnson. 7 carries, 17 yards. The Chiefs have contained him pretty well. And you got to think that's part of the game plan with Brady Pinion at quarterback.
Yeah, a halfback zone right there to Duke Johnson. I don't like what he does. He immediately tries to take it outside, then immediately regrets that, spins back inside and takes a big hit. Not a good run. You have to have patience and trust the play that you're called. I didn't see that right there from Duke Johnson. It just seems to be a little off right now.
Second and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. Brady Pinion under center with 3 wide receivers. 2 over to the right side, 1 on the left. That's Zach DeManch. He drops back to pass on second and 10. Looks over the middle of the field. Has Derek Bartu once again. But, man, Bomber, no David Njoku, no problem, as Bartu has been huge for the Browns with some big catches, and that one, another one right up the seam to the big tight end, a first down for the Brownies.
You got to start taking that away if you're Kansas City. You have to recognize that's the easiest first read that he's making. If he's making a 2-read play, he's calling a play looking for 2 reads. If he's got that seam, he's going to glance that seam and check that immediately, and it's been wide open lately.
On first and 10, it's Duke Johnson, and on first and 10, Duke Johnson doing his best TJTR impression, getting 1 yard for second and 9.
Darth been in the chat right now saying, what do the Cleveland Browns and a Chick-fil-A manager have in common? There's a link on there. We don't get to click, so hopefully he's going to tell us, I would think.
I clicked on it. Joke. First of all, I'm just happy that it didn't give me a virus.
Okay, yeah, obviously.
Neither one shows up for work on Sunday.
It should have took you to like a player profile of Trent Richardson. That would have been fun.
That would have been 10 out of 10. Second and 9 for Pinion. He's going to hand it off to Duke Johnson on the counter. He's got some room on the outside. He's up past the 50, past the 45. Duke moved to the 40. He's got to fight through a tackle, shake it off a man, and getting all the way up to the 28-yard line. And Bomber, that is where Duke Johnson is most effective, outside the tackles and making plays in space.
At user coverage, you got to realize tight formations are easy for counters to break outside. You have to be using the linebacker and have some kind of space where you can get there and force that halfback back inside. He wasn't there then, and that's what happened. He got beat there by Duke Johnson Jr. to the outside on that counter.
First and 10 for the Browns, and it's going to be a bunch formation, 3 to the right, 1 over to the left side. That is Zach DeManch on first and 10. Blitz coming right up the middle. He'll get rid of it to Anderson out of the backfield. He's got a first down and more, fighting through tackles and getting up near the 10-yard line to the 11. Anderson, though, stays down after taking a big hit bomb. We're seeing a lot of man blitzing from Kansas City on first down, and Cleveland is finding a way to get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, the problem is that they're hoping Pinion makes a bad decision early, and actually his first instinct in the first 1 second after he hikes the ball is actually a pretty good decision most of the time. So blitzing him, I don't know if that's the answer.
First and 10 for the Browns, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. On the field, stand for the tight end, going to motion from the left side, now to the right. Duke Johnson in the backfield, toss play to Duke on the outside, and a great
what a tackle.
What a tackle there, Bomber. You love seeing linebackers showing off the speed and getting in the backfield.
Yeah, he just left his feet to pretty much make a play at the halfback. Did everything you're not supposed to do. Took an insanely aggressive angle. Then when he got close enough to the halfback, he says, I'm leaving my feet. I'm going to go an all-or-nothing play. And he might have saved the touchdown right now. 2nd and 10 from the 11. They're in good field position. If you're the Kansas City Chiefs right now, you got to hold to 3, and this might be the opportunity to get a turnover.
Once again, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for the Browns. Brady Pinion under center, Duke Johnson in the backfield. And Kansas City, another false start. That's 3 on the day for the Kansas City Chiefs. And C.J. Anderson should be good to return to the game, but a free 5 yards after such a great stop on first down, Bomber, has got to be demoralizing.
turn the aggressive off right now. You have a backup quarterback in there. You do not need to turn aggressive on and give 5 free yards. Now, right now, it might not hurt him too bad. As Sonny Weaver would say, he's on the 6. He gave up 5, so he shrunk the field even more. This might force Cleveland to run here on 2nd and 5, and then 3rd and whatever they don't pick up.
Now 2nd and 5, I formation. Duke Johnson at the top of the I, 2 wide receivers. And it's going to be a handoff to Duke Johnson, trying to find some room in that Kansas City front 4, doing a great job as Ellis, the linebacker, coming up to make the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
Sonny Weaver in the chat saying close formations are for noobs in the chat right now. I'm pretty sure Sonny Weaver loves some close formations, probably.
Yeah, don't
He's not here to defend himself either way.
Yeah,
so
no,
we'll
that's
go
the
with
Sonny
that.
Weaver play, though. Hey, the Wildcat is terrible. Then we see Sonny run it every other game. I mean, come on. He's saying that just so he can run close formations. As now 3rd and 5 for the Browns. 2 wide receivers out there, tight end going in motion from the right to the left. Duke Johnson in the backfield. It's going to be Johnson getting the carry right up the gut. Kansas City wasn't ready for the Duke. Touchdown Browns as they extend their lead. What a job by the up front lineman, creating a hole for Duke Johnson. But Bomber, that looked like a play where Kansas City guessed past the entire way, and Duke Johnson said, no thanks, I'll keep this one on the ground.
Yeah, this is why the Kansas City Chiefs organization needs to listen to the broadcast. When you went offside, I said, this is probably going to force this backup quarterback to have to run on 2nd and 3rd down, because they're not going to trust that quarterback in that situation. They did not want to come away with a turnover. A 3 would still have put them up 7, but instead you drop into some kind of coverage where you really believe this team was going to pass the ball on 3rd down. Great play calling by the Cleveland Browns. Predictable play calling, but maybe Kansas City went and overthought it just a little bit.
Well, now it's up to James Straseljic to get 7 on this drive. They don't want to kick another field goal. They want to cut this back to a close game. As Straseljic just gets rid of the ball before he gets hit. He finds Tyreek Hill underneath. Good coverage in the secondary, though, bringing him down for only a 4-yard gain.
In the chat right now, October is saying Browns offense just eating tonight. Absolutely. They've been moving the chains no matter who's been under center playing quarterback. They're undermanned. That David Njoku is not playing. Oh, man, they've looked pretty good, and we haven't seen too much Zach DeManch either.
Shotgun formation for James Straseljic as he drops back to pass on 2nd and 6. Corner blitz coming. Straseljic is going to go down, boy.
Oh, he's hurt.
And now he's holding his, it looks like his shoulder.
And the tight end was wide open. He's waiting on the tight end, but the cornerback sends the edge heat. It gets there not that quickly either, but a great user job. He was in the yellow. He jams the tight end up and makes him have to hesitate just a little bit. And now he's down, and number 15's in the game.
Backup quarterback game here in Kansas City. We saw the Browns young quarterback Watson go down. Now Straseljic goes down on 3rd and 12, stepping up, taking a deep shot down the right side for Janty. Goes up with one hand and can't make the play, as that is Kirk Cousins into the game, looking down the right sideline. Bomber, man, oh man. It's gone from bad to worse for Kansas City, and this game, it feels like it's all on the coaching staff. The play calling has been, frankly, one of the worst I've seen, because they're just incredibly predictable and not taking advantage of the fact that the Browns have a backup quarterback in the game.
Absolutely. We haven't seen really any adjustment to the fact that there is a backup quarterback that arguably is a fringe backup quarterback, not even a backup quarterback that you bring in and go, okay, let's run our offense how we've been running it. No, this is a condensed offense they're running right now. Really 2 simple reads. We've seen outs, post, seams, and drags.
Stop running man blitz. Stop running cover 0.
The Chiefs are not going away from that. They're not playing into this hand.
Well, Brady Pinion comes out under center. Duke Johnson in the backfield. 2 wide receivers. 21 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter, and Cleveland looking to put this game away perhaps on 1st and 10. As a lot of adjustments here. Dropping back to pass is Pinion. He's going to throw another out route to Zach DeManch. He's going to spin, go down to the 45-yard line. Bomber, it's very obvious what they're doing, as Straseljic going down with the same thing that Joe Watson has, a lower backstream. He will not return, but look at that. Another man blitz from Kansas City. Another quick out route. You saw the adjustment. Everyone knew what adjustment was being made, and no adjustment from the Kansas City defense.
It's really simple what's going to happen here. If you're in man, it looks like cover 0. He's going to put you on an out route if you're not pressed up. If you pressed up, he's putting them on a go route. You just need a user over there. Stay off of him. Let him think that the out route's going to be open. And then when he hikes it, he goes to throw it. You jump it. You highlight halfway down the field. We've seen this happen multiple times throughout this game. Kansas City's just not adjusting, and they're kind of beating them with the same old playbook they were using in the 1st quarter.
Pinion under center. Duke Johnson in the backfield. 2 wide receivers once again as Coleman coming in motion. It looks like it's going to be a handoff to Duke Johnson. A little counterplay. Good contain on the outside by Kansas City, bringing down Duke Johnson for no gain. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10. But, I mean, again, it's frustrating to watch because we know how good the Kansas City defense can be. They get a backup quarterback in Brady Pinion who doesn't have an arm to really sling it around. And Kansas City is just making it as easy as they can for Brady Pinion to be successful.
Yeah, these are still good wide receivers on this Cleveland Browns offense, so you still have to respect the wide receiver core. Right now, they're not even doing that, so they're allowing the wide receivers to beat them, and then Pinion's just making easy throws that you or I could make. Maybe just me.
Settle down. I could probably throw it out route.
So you want to have a quarterback throwing competition here?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Is that what?
We'll film it. It'll be great.
We're gonna use like a Nerf ball though.
Well, right,
I can really
100%.
grip.
I got tiny girl hands, okay? Shout out to Jukum WR21 following here on Twitch. Appreciate it.
And let me just expand on that. I need to see a Nerf ball that makes that whistling sound when I rock it.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to feel like I sent that thing, 100 yards.
Well, pressure showing up the middle here by Kansas City. Let's see what they decide to do on 3rd and 6. Shotgun formation. They drop back into a zone. Pinion dropping, waiting, throws over the middle. It's a bad throw, and they don't pick it off. They don't pick it off. That's another one.
It wasn't the wrong read, though. That's the funny part. I mean, it was a bad lob, but he should have let it upfield. I mean, he split the safeties. He had the time. Maybe just kind of hesitated, didn't want to make that throw.
So this is going to be a 57-yard attempt. From the right hash mark, ball's down. The kick is up. Doesn't have enough leg. It does. And Cleveland's going to extend it 27-13, keeping it a 2-score game. But Bomber, another opportunity there. A bad throw from Brady Pinion, one of the few we've seen in Kansas City. The linebacker back there, instead of just letting it fall into his hands, just bats it down.
Seen a lot of those today. We've seen a lot of opportunities for both teams to have interceptions, and the defense just not coming down with it.
But Duke Johnson not going to return to the game. Dislocated elbow. C.J. Anderson going to be into the game. Bomber, not a huge loss with 5:15 to go, but Cleveland's going to be looking to run the ball here at the end to just run the clock down. Kansas City needs a score, and they need to score badly.
They need to score quickly. Absolutely right now. Tyreek Hill, hey, you look good earlier. Now suit up and let's play a little Superman right now. We need some big plays from you. And Janty over there has the size. Let's see if they throw a jump ball to him.
Handoff to TJ Logan right up the middle, and he's got some room. He gets up to the 26-yard line. Nice job there on the trap run for the blocking. Logan just got to lower his head and get the first down there. Know where the marker is. Going to bring up a 2nd and inches.
Yeah, even when he does good, he kind of just fails by just a little bit. Trent Richardson in the backfield. You're down 2 scores. You don't expect him to run. Hey, that's his best opportunity.
2nd and inches, handoff to
Logan.
Logan.
On 2nd and inches, they expect him to run, and he can't pick it up. So there's that.
Why on 2nd and inches, Bomber, are you running a shotgun run that takes so long to develop? You know you're going to probably get some pressure. Why aren't you just lining up? And I mean, the play calling has been questionable at best. And now they come out on 3rd and inches, an opportunity where they could have at least feigned a run play. They're going to empty out the backfield. Blitz coming. Strzelczyk throws it to the little curl on the outside. It's caught. It's a big first down. Excuse me, that's Kirk Cousins into the game. No James Strzelczyk with that lower back strain. But again, another opportunity. They pick up the first down. The play calling, though, questionable.
Definitely understand they have Kirk Cousins in there, but he's a more than capable backup for any given night on any given day in the NBL to make a big performance and have a big performance. Now's his time. This is what they paid him the money to come in here and be a backup quarterback for.
Tyreek Hill having his best game of the season. Only 2 touchdowns on the year for Hill. As Kirk Cousins dropping back. Myles Garrett with the sack, but Cousins waited a little too long for that dig route to come open. He
should have streaked him. Yeah. He broke off the press out. He shouldn't even have waited for the dig. He could have thrown it to him while he was running on that go before the dig because it was wide open. He got a clean release, the best release you can have in this game. He just didn't see it.
Kirk Cousins in the shotgun, full wide receivers, 3-man rush from the Browns. Looks over the middle.
Yeah, that's bad.
Hey, where was that one going?
That's when you throw the drag to the linebacker. It's called a drag line.
Not a good throw.
Yeah. Not a good throw. A very Trent Richardson-esque, if he was a passer, kind of thing. You see where I'm trying to go with that?
This is the most anybody has mentioned Trent Richardson in 5 years. Like, nobody has cared this much, but we're seeing a lot of TR today as a 3rd and 15 for Kirk Cousins. Dropping back on 3rd down. Blitz Cummins picked up, but Cousins fumbles the ball. It's picked up by the Browns, and Myles Garrett looking for the scoop score. The big man using every bit of energy to get to the end zone. He might have been going slow, but he was going effective as the Browns put this one away with a touchdown and some bad decision-making from Kirk Cousins. You got to get rid of the ball. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to lose this one, and Palmer, we know that probably James Strzelczyk's going to be okay, but even with Strzelczyk into the game, there's concern this team going to drop to 6-4. The wild card race in the AFC is tight, and I don't have a whole lot of faith in the coaching staff considering the play calling we've seen today.
Yeah, so if the Chiefs drop to 6-4, the Browns move to 7-3, and it also gives them the head-to-head versus the Chiefs, which has killed them every year when they've been on the bubble to try to make the wild card. And this is what it is. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs are a fringe playoff team that just really can't get over that hump to even get in. So there really hasn't been any consistency other than the fact that they occasionally will beat a team and surprise you. But when it really comes down to the big lights, weeks 11, weeks 12 to 16, they're just not going to show up.
First and 10 as Kirk Cousins looking to the outside, and he throws it. It's completed, but a drop on the outside not helping Cousins. 1 of 4, 14 yards. Since he's come into the game, looking at the Chiefs, looking at their schedule, seeing where they lost games, they dropped a game 29-20 to the Chargers. They dropped a game 48-23 to the Titans, and they lost by 12, 28-16 to the Broncos. They're going to drop one to the Browns. And as they head down the stretch, they've got a matchup with the Chargers and Broncos still to come. They also got to play the Colts, who are playing well this year, the Seahawks, who are playing well this year, and the Raiders in Week 17. 2nd and 10. Cousins looks over the middle of the field, makes a nice read, finds a man. It's complete down inside the 50-yard line. But, Bomber, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. They only have one game that I'd say is a gimme, and that's against the 1-8 Rams. The rest of them, the Chiefs are going to have to fight for these wins.
It's going to be tough, and you always look for 10. If I can get to 10 wins, I might be in, but I don't think so this year either. I think you got to get to 11, OSU, and I think that might require a tiebreaker, which you'll be looking at the Cleveland Browns as someone you're probably tied with as they just make
it's Hayward with the
phenomenal play from Casey Hayward,
wow.
Former Green Bay Packer, former Los Angeles Charger.
The Boo Birds are out in Kansas City.
Gub in the chat. Left in that tank.
Gub in the chat saying Chargers appreciate this win, Browns. Ugly. Is there any positive takeaway from this for Kansas City? I mean, the run game was bad. The passing game was bad. The defense did not take advantage. When Joe Watson went out.
Okay, I got a positive takeaway.
Sure.
I've exposed TJ Logan for who he actually is. Take off the mask. It's Trent Richardson. Now get rid of him.
It's good.
We already know who he is.
That's very good. Go. That's called helpful information.
Get rid of him. It's over. TJ Logan, 4th NBL live of a complete dud. Even when he had a big gain, he got inches on it and then got the ball another carry and couldn't even get the first down. He just can't make the chains move. And even for a short yardage back like him, if you can't make the chains move, you can't beat one guy. You can't fall forward on one play that you need inches or a yard. You're Trent Richardson. You're pretty useless. It's time to move on from TJ Logan. If I see him play another snap, it's going to be a topic on Commissioner Corner podcast.
JY saying Bomber just Scooby-Dooed TJ. Let's see who this actually is. Trent Richardson. Yeah, he's definitely.
It all made sense there, though. We weren't that surprised. We're like, yeah, that 100% makes sense. I get it. Okay.
3rd and 10 for the Browns. Shotgun formation for Brady Pinion. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the right side, 1 over to the left. It's going to be Pinion taking the snap on 3rd and 10. He's going to look for the post route. He finds Reeves once again to get the first down at the 45-yard line. A reminder, folks, we'll have our NBL Live Player of the Game following the conclusion of this game for Broadcast 213. If you want to check out all of our NBL Live Player of the Games, you can head over to our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. That's where we have them all the way back to broadcast number 1. It's a great look back at NBL history. You can also apply to join the NBL. You can also pick up one of our new Gold Standard t-shirts. That's 365.maddenbomberleague.com. As CJ Anderson taking the counter, he's going to get a first down and more up to the 31-yard line. Boy, even at the end of the game, Bomber, when we know, as they lose Ellis, their very talented linebacker with a broken arm, that's a big loss for the Kansas City Chiefs. Even when you know the Browns are going to be running the ball, Chiefs can't find a way to stop them.
They really can't. They can't contain the edge. It doesn't seem like everything they've shown us up to this point even matters. An adapting defense is usually what I call the Draco defense. It just wasn't that tonight. It was very robotic, and it wasn't coming out of what it had studied. It came into this game with a game plan, it stuck to it, and it just didn't work. And that's why we are at 34-13, Cleveland over Kansas City at home.
Is this Browns team a playoff team to you, Bomber?
Absolutely. I think the Browns team is a playoff team every year, and when they don't get in, that's when you're disappointed. But Cleveland, absolutely a wild card playoff team. I don't think they get over that hump, which is the Steelers, because the Steelers haven't lost. And if they don't lose, they can't. Yeah, you can't have a better record than a team that hasn't lost. That's just math, fellas. Trent Richardson, you would agree with that as well.
Yeah.
I might have bashed you all day today, but that comment, I know you would agree with me on if you were here and listening. But the 9-0 Steelers, even though the Browns moved to 7-3, I just don't see the Steelers losing 4 times. And that's what it would take.
I'm looking at the Steelers' schedule. They play the Jets, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Bills, and the Bengals in their last couple weeks. They just finished the Jets. So Dolphins are at 2-7, Panthers are at 3-7, Bills are at 4-6, Bengals are at 3-7. Steelers aren't losing 3 games. They do have one more matchup with the Browns. Browns and Steelers played first week of the year. 44-38, the Steelers came out on top. Bomber Matt Stafford, former Detroit line.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, I know. But this guy coming out of nowhere, playing pretty well over in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's looking good. I mean, coming off a career performance and backing it up with a little chip on his shoulder as he got released. $26 million. Wanted to see what we can do cap-wise. He went to Pittsburgh, said, hey, man, I'm going to go to a Super Bowl pedigree team, and I'm going to make you pay for it. And he's been taking it out in the AFC, not really directly us. So, I mean, we're rooting for him. Unless we ever have to play them, then, things change and banners go down and people forget who you are. So, Matt Stafford, you got to make a business decision if that ever comes to it. You want your legacy in Detroit to be remembered, those statues? Because we'll replace them with Harvey Beckham statues real quick if we have to.
Harvey Beckham's got a shoe. I don't think Matt Stafford had a shoe. I don't remember seeing that. As ESPN in the chat saying you guys need to stream more. I have withdrawals. Appreciate the love. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Broadcast 213. Hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button. So you know each and every time we go live, we're heading down to the playoffs. Every game matters coming up on NBL Live as 000 is on the clock. The Cleveland Browns making a statement today. On the road in Kansas City, they walk away with a 34-13 victory. It's time now to pick our NBL Live player of the game for broadcast number 213, Bomber. At the end of the day, the guy whose name comes to mind for me, and we saw Myles Garrett had a couple sacks, had that scoop score fumble, but for me, Brady Pinion coming in, composed,
okay,
and leading the touch. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, he came out perfect. I think it was like 15 to 18, 14 to 18 at one point, 15 to 19 maybe how he finished. He was hitting corner routes underneath, quick reads to the tight end. I mean, there was a tight end on an 8-yard in that he hit him on the go part of it, on the little seam part of it, and it was open. Just great chemistry with the wide receivers. You can tell he's getting some practice there with the ones, or he just came in there and just played like a magic man. Even a high pass we've seen to number 19. A lot of stuff we saw. An array of passes from this backup quarterback and former New England Patriot, former Minnesota Viking, Brady Pinion, looked really good tonight, and that's our broadcast number 213, player of the game. You can find all those archives on 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Make sure you check that out. And if you want to apply, you go to 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Basically, 99% of all of our information is on that website, and if you want to check it out, you go to 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Plugged it 3 times in about 30 seconds.
You mean 365.maddenbomberleague.com?
Wait, what did you say?
365.maddenbomberleague.com.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's definitely it.
Brady Pinion, 77% completion percentage, 211 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 1 interception. Player of the game for broadcast number 213. Again, folks, if you ever want to check out any of the archives of NBL Live, all of our games are on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MaddenBomberleague, including all of our NBL Live broadcasts, Final Minutes, which breaks down some of the best finishes in the NBL, as well as our original programming, all over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MaddenBomberleague. A great game today. We appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. For my co-host, Bomber, I'm OSU. Once again, your final score, the Cleveland Browns coming out with a big win in Kansas City, 34-13. We'll see you next week for some more action right here on NBL Live.